Project avoid IBF undefeated welterweight champion Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, is in full effect for guys to defend MANNY Pac-Man Pacquiao 8th Division Filipino champion, superstar boxer, from fighting Errol Spence Jr. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So undefeated, pound for pound, IBF welterweight champion, Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. is going to be avoided by MANNY Pac-Man Pacquiao 8th Division Filipino superstar boxer, as he's being advised not to face Errol Spence Jr. after his destruction victory over Keith one-time Thurman, who was undefeated and was the WBA super champion, right? Everybody felt like MANNY Pac-Man Pacquiao turned back the clocks in the Thurman fight. Freddie Roach, MANNY Pacquiao talked up a possibility of facing Errol Spence Jr. should they get past Keith Thurman in the near future. But now you get guys like Mayweather Promotions CEO Leonard Ellerbe, who's always sharp. I like Leonard Ellerbe, right? He's always sharp, right? But Leonard Ellerbe is stating that if it was up to him, he would never allow MANNY Pacquiao to face Errol Spence Jr. He says, you know, sometimes you got to know when you push the envelope far enough. Sometimes you got to draw a line in the sand, right? You did that against a youthful, undefeated champion in Keith Thurman. Don't continue to push the envelope, because somebody's going to open the mail. And he feels like that guy that's going to open the mail is Errol Spence Jr., right? Now you're getting guys like Skip Bayless on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp talking about the fight. He says, no way do you put MANNY Pacquiao in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. It was bad enough a lot of people felt like he wouldn't survive Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is a much better fighter than, Errol Spence is a much better fighter than Keith one-time Thurman. That's too dangerous. It's one thing to put him in the ring with Floyd Mayweather for a rematch. It's a whole nother bag of peanuts, a whole nother can of worms putting him in there with Errol Spence Jr. Don't do it. Jason Whitlock on his show, Think for Yourself, with Marcellus Wiley, says, listen, I didn't think Pacquiao was going to get past Keith Thurman. That was highly impressive, especially being for a guy on the wrong side of 40. It was highly impressive, but maybe that was his last hurrah. I wouldn't put him in there with a guy like Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. No way do you do that. Now you just let him cherry pick his way until he retires, right? So Max Kellerman, right, said something in the same things. It would be very dangerous or too dangerous to put MANNY Pacquiao in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. See, this is becoming the narrative. And before you know it, they drilling it into the casuals, into the fans' minds, that it's too much of a risk, so they'll accept him not fighting Errol Spence. Why take that fight? It's too much of a risk. I mean, MANNY Pacquiao, excuses are going to start to set in, and these excuses are going to start to be okay with the fans. You understand what they're trying to do? It's like you watching TV and they continue to show you these McDonald's commercials, and all of a sudden you don't even eat McDonald's. You don't even like McDonald's, but they continue to flash these commercials on you. So before you know it, you want a Big Mac or a quarter pounder or some French fries or a nice Coke with ice, right? And you don't even like that stuff. But it plays on your psyche. And so with that said, you know, they continue to tell you that, you know, MANNY Pacquiao's too old to fight Errol Spence. So if he chooses to fight Danny Garcia, it becomes acceptable to the fans. When in fact, he's the WBA champion. When in fact, he just looked great against Keith Thurman. When in fact, everybody says he's turning back the clocks. When in fact, when it's somebody like Floyd Mayweather Jr., they don't care how old he is, right? They want him to face the stiffest competition out there. They want Floyd Mayweather to come back. They want him to fight Errol Spence. They want him to rematch Canelo Alvarez. You understand? I even seen people calling for him to fight Jamel Charlo, which is utterly ridiculous. And Floyd Mayweather is 3 years older than Manny Pacquiao, or 2 years older than Manny Pacquiao, right? He's definitely older than Manny Pacquiao. He's Manny Pacquiao's elder. So with that said, you know, nobody makes excuses for Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, it was a joke, right? Because he should be fighting real competition. He should be fighting Errol Spence and Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. And I echoed that same sentiment. I don't count 50-0, that victory against Conor McGregor, as a 50th fight. Not in the boxing ring. It's not a boxing match. But with that said, he don't get no excuses. He gets no passes. So why does Manny Pacquiao get a pass if he's still active? He just beat a guy undefeated WBA super welterweight champion, and Keith one-time Thurman destroyed him, right? Dropped him, possibly broke his ribs, had his nose bleeding, had him a bloody mess, right? So why are you giving him? So why can't we? Everybody wanted to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence, right? Everybody wanted to see that fight. So you beat that man. So then that elevates you over Keith Thurman. So why can't you fight Errol Spence? See, nobody was saying Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence, it was a mismatch. Nobody said Errol Spence was too big, too strong, too physical, too fast, too youthful for Keith Thurman. They wanted to see the fight. And Manny Pacquiao easily disposes of Keith Thurman, right? I don't know how easy it was, but he clearly won the fight, right? He hurt Keith Thurman numerous of times. He dropped Keith Thurman, right? Clean victory for him, right? So everybody wanted to see Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. Everybody wanted to see Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford. So now you replaced them. Why can't we see Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence? See, Errol Spence is getting the short end of the stick in this situation, right? He needs to get his opportunity. Point blank and period. We need to stop putting Errol Spence in these lose-lose situations. The Mikey Garcia fight, he dominated the fight, but it was a lose-lose situation. If you didn't look good against Mikey Garcia, you got exposed. But if he did look good against Mikey Garcia, he did what he was supposed to do, right? Now everybody's coming out like Leonard Ellaby say, he's a big welterweight. See, these are built-in excuses. How about he's just a welterweight? Why we have to put big in before we say he's a welterweight? Why would we have to label him big? Nobody said Keith Thurman is a big welterweight, right? Nobody says Kell Brook is a big welterweight. Kell Brook was bigger than Errol Spence, right? So why do we have to label him big before we mention that he's a welterweight? See, that's putting in your psyche, that's placing an excuse, a built-in excuse into your psyche for you to say, well, he should have won because he's actually a 54-pounder campaigning at welterweight. No, he's not. He's actually a true welterweight that campaigns at welterweight. And we're not used to seeing true welterweights in the welterweight division. Sean Porter's not a true welterweight. He's a 140-pounder. Danny Garcia is not a true welterweight. He's a 140-pounder. Terrence Crawford is not a true welterweight. He's a 140-pounder. So we seeing the best 140-pounders campaign at welterweight, a la Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence just happened to be a true welterweight. So they campaigning in his division. He's not campaigning in theirs. So he can't get the fight that he's so well deserved because they came up and moved up in weight. Manny Pacquiao is the 8th division champion. He fought guys like Margarito, who was bigger than Errol Spence, right? Joshua Clottey and Errol Spence about the same size, right? So there was no built-in excuse then. It was all glory to Manny Pacquiao. So why are we making excuses now? Keith Thurman was unified. Errol Spence never was unified at the welterweight division. He's held the IBF belt. He's never held two. Keith Thurman held the WBA belt and the WBC belt. So he was unified, undefeated, right? More experience. So there was no excuses then. Why is there excuses for Errol Spence? No, I'm not going to let this go unpunished, right? No, we're going to expose this. No, Errol Spence Jr. needs his opportunity in the sport of boxing. So if there's a big fight, Manny Pacquiao, you got the belt, the WBA belt, you need to unify with Errol Spence Jr. should he be victorious against WBC welterweight champion Showtime Sean Porter, which is, I'll say it again, is no walk in the park. It's no foregone conclusion that Errol Spence is just going to go in there and win, regardless of what people are telling you, that he's just going to dog walk Showtime Sean Porter. You've never seen Showtime Sean Porter dog walked in any fight. You've never seen him cleanly beaten in any of his fights, in any of his 2 losses, the one versus Keith Thurman or the one versus Kell Brook. People could argue that Sean Porter won the fight. People could argue that he won the fight against Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. There's an argument for both. So he could very well be easily undefeated, just like Andy Ruiz Jr. with the Joseph Parker fight. He got one blemish on his resume, but that blemish could easily be reversed and could have went the opposite way. Same goes for Showtime Sean Porter. And we've never visibly hurt, staggered, and wobbled outside of a fight with Keith Thurman. Right? So that's a great fight. Sean Porter versus Errol Spence. I know the mass majority of people going to say Errol Spence just going to dog walk him, because that's what people are used to saying about Errol Spence. That's how he's perceived, as the boogeyman. Nobody wants to fight him. And so that's backfiring against Errol Spence, because now you're getting guys like CEOs and promoters and colorful analysts and sports analysts and things of that nature saying that's not a fight Manny Pacquiao should take. So even if Errol Spence does get the Manny Pacquiao fight, he'll never get the credit, because they're already placing excuses in your brain as to why he should win the fight. So they're going to tell you that Manny Pacquiao didn't stand a chance should Errol Spence win. So should Manny Pacquiao win, he conquered the dragon, right? He did something that he did the impossible. But if Errol Spence wins the fight, then he did what he's supposed to do, and it's another day in the office, and he won't get the credit that he so deserves. But we will not let that happen. And I'm tired of people saying that Errol Spence is a big welterweight. No, he's a regular welterweight. He's a natural welterweight. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.